Malaga Club de Football, sitting rotting away in La Liga Segunda in 16th position, drawing games like it's going out of fashion. But where did it go so wrong for the Spanish outfit who less than a decade ago were enjoying the knockout rounds of European football's greatest competition? In the summer of 2011, the eyes of European football watched on as new owners at La Rosaleda was able to hire Manuel Pellegrini as head coach. With him, the club was then able to sign the likes of Sandy Cazorla from Villarreal, Nacho Monreal, Jeremy Toulanon, Joaquín for Valencia, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and the starlet of the time with great hopes and a high future, Isco for Valencia as well. In 2013, the good times came to a crashing end, dumped out of the UEFA Champions League in controversial circumstances to Jurgen Klopp's free-scoring Borussia Dortmund. UEFA then doubled down and handed Malaga a 2-year ban on entering any European competition for breaching financial fair play rules. The owner pulled the plug, withdrawing his financial backing and incurring massive debts. Malaga was then forced to sell their stars at a loss to other clubs, and as we've seen with other great clubs such as Leeds and Parma over in Italy, they suffered relegation as the club slashed the wage bill. With a new fictional board in control of the club, Malaga bosses look to a former star to bring the fans back to La Rosaleda. Despite starting and ending his career at Real Betis, an icon at the club, Joaquín Sánchez Rodríguez has gone on record saying that he has unfinished business in Malaga and he couldn't turn the ball down. On to the project rules. To keep things pretty realistic for Malaga, this series will have a few conditions imposed throughout. Firstly, bearing in mind Malaga's troubled backstory with their finances, we'll have to look after La Dinero and keep the finances in the black, meaning that anything we spend has to come from player sales or competition prize money. No fresh takeovers here. Secondly, staying true to the rules of Spanish professional football, every player will have a release clause inserted into his contract when he signs or renews, as is the case here in Spain. That will make things really interesting, especially if we become more successful and the big teams come sniffing around for our top players. We'll have to get the checkbook out or say goodbye. Finally, we're only going to sign Spanish-speaking players, which aside from Spain means Central and South America, with Brazil being a bit of a grey area as they predominantly speak Portuguese here. This stops us from signing the next OP region from Europe and vastly limits our player pool when it comes to transfer market. If you like the sound of this, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and drop a like on the video. It'll help the video do well and that will help me bring more content your way, and it's nice to be nice. So just before we get going with the series, here's your opportunity to get even closer to the channel. Joining the Your Average FIFA Guy Club on Discord will give you a space to chat with me and each other. You can send your thoughts on the project in real time and I can give you updates to say where I am with filming and what's about to drop. There's also a space to hang and chat all things FIFA and career mode, so don't miss out and click on the join link in the video description. Right, let's get to it. We're in 16th position and just 3 points off the drop. The board wants automatic promotion and it's going to be hard to see how we can get into the top 2 in the league. As we scroll up though, positions are quite tight with just 4 points separating 16th and 10th position there. Easy to move up with a few games and a win streak. I don't think there's any way of us catching Sporting. They're up top, they've got 50 points already and they've got a massive lead. But if we can at least get into the playoffs, that's got to be our goal. Into the starting 11, and we can see why we're sitting in 16th position in La Liga Segunda, with only Gomez, the right back, and Martin, the goalkeeper, being of any true value. It's an absolute shower at the moment, and there's got to be something we can use in the subs or the reserves. But hang on, what's Brian Kufra doing on the bench there? Quality left back, and as we explore further down, we can see there's some actual options in the reserves. I don't know what the AI has been doing, but we can definitely use some of these boys. With Panyak there, it's 75 rated, he's got to be starting surely. I'm not sure if he's had an injury or the AI is just fallen out with him, but he's got to be starting there ahead of Perenes. And then with Brian Kufra at left back, rather than Jimenez, the defence is actually looking alright. As we go into the squad then to see what's going on with the finances, take a little peek and oh dear. If we look at the contract situation, we've got 7 players in. Probably our top 7 players are all not our players, with loans coming in from Espanyol and Mallorca in particular. and their loan deals due to run out at the end of the season. If we look further down as well, there's more and more and more guys with 6 months left on the contract, and come the end of the season there's only going to be half a squad left. Massive problems already at La Rosaleda. First day in the job, and the most important thing to do is get those training drills done right in preparation for our first game tomorrow. Bit of work done in the office. We've been putting some players up on the transfer list, we've been negotiating a couple of contract deals, but this is how my team is going to start up. We've got Brandon Thomas at centre forward converted, of course. We've got Febas, who's going to be our cam, Badio on loan, and Jairo on the wings, hopefully providing some creativity. Enriquez and Munoz in the centre of midfield to provide stability. And then probably the stars of the show are in the full-back positions. We've got Gomez and we've got Brian Kufre on the right back and left back positions, with Thomas Panyak in the central defence. Juande being the only question mark for me. First game then, in at the deep end against league leaders Real Sporting, and the top of the league for good reason. The top scorers as well show their class. Nice little interchange and an early goal within 10 minutes of Joaquín's managerial career. We feel like we're running through treacle, slow as anything, but Brandon Tomas looks like a bit of a prospect. His shot unlucky, hitting the post. And then room on the right hand side for Jairo. Looks like he can cross a ball though. His delicious ball volleyed home from Brandon, and it's a fantastic volley that draws us level in the game. Wallop, and that disturbs the frame as the goal as well. Things you love to see. We could have made it 2-1. Good run from Kufre, who just hangs the ball up in the air. A little bit too long perhaps, and Brandon can't get any power on the head. But then, as we approach injury time, just 1 minute of it, no time left at all. Sporting capitalise. We don't know whether to cover the shot or the cross, but they make it 2-1, and we don't get anything out of the game. If we didn't think that our task was going to be difficult enough to start with, we certainly know it is now. Second game then, at home to Party Island Ibiza. There'll be no partying today though, strictly business only for Joaquín and his Malaga men. We need to get off to a good start. Nice little bit of passing, stabbed away by Brandon Tomas, but he couldn't do anything more. And here he is orchestrating play from deep. Lovely ball in from Kufre, and a great reaction save from the goalkeeper Germain to deny us 1-0. Joaquín knows that it's all well and good, but goals are the only thing that matters. We'll leave it quite late. Badio coming home on the left hand side. He slides the ball across, and it's an easy tap in for Jairo, who makes it 1-0 late in the day. Finally we take the lead, and goal scorer turns goal provider. A beautiful ball half volleyed home by Brandon Tomas to make it 2-0, and that's got to be the win guaranteed. Excellent work going forwards. It could have been 3. A naughty little dink here, just denied by the crossbar, and perhaps things just starting to click thanks to the work on the training pitch with Joaquín. The only thing that we have question marks about is the centre half position, with Juande just not showing like he's up to the task compared to the rest of the back four, and we'll go into the transfer market on deadline day with just over 6 million to play with. We're looking at Carlos Kesta from the Turkish League, and he's going to cost about that 6 million mark. Trabzonspor is going to take us for as many euros as they possibly can though, to drive a hard bargain, because we know we have to leave room in the wage budget to pay his wages as well. We'll try and settle on 6 million, it's a round and friendly number, but they want a little bit more. 50k left for his wages should be more than enough though. We'll take that, thank you very much. When it comes down to his contract, the release clause goes in. 13.7 million should be just about enough, and then plenty of room in the kitty for his wages as well. So 74 Carlos Kesta, a nice little addition to the back four. It should provide some stability. Third home game of the season against Ponferradina, an outfit that we don't know too much about, but we do know that they're competition that we have to get past in our pursuit of promotion. Some nice slick passing to start with, Jairo waiting for the right time, and then Febas with some trickery and a little bit of pace that earns himself the penalty. The centre half earns himself into the referee's book. Confidently drilled home from Brandon Tomas. No dramas there from the youngster, and would take the lead much to everyone's delight at La Rosaleda. But then, set piece from the left hand side, Ponferradina do us with a corner. It's a nice training ground move from them, and it's 1-1 the score. Tough to get back in the game. We'll have our chances and we just can't put them away. Jairo missing, and then Brandon Tomas blazing past the near post. We'll leave it very late. Substitute Roberto just popping up. His shot deflected and goes in, but we don't care. It's 2-1 the score, and La Rosaleda goes absolutely wild. In real life, Roberto from the Malaga Academy, and he'll be a fan favourite. Maybe one to look out for in the future. His goal absolutely vital, and just to make sure, he pops up with a second. This time no deflection necessary. 3-1 the score. 3 bags. 3 points in the bag. Joaquín's vision, his technique perhaps just coming into fruition as things starting to click at home for Malaga. So here we are then in the league table in 10th position. Things are looking a little bit better, and we are just 3 points off Girona in 7th position, but everything's so tight. The key going forwards is momentum, and we have to keep that winning streak going. Big game then against Huesca. They're sitting with a 6-point lead over us, and we need to cut that down to 3 points in our pursuit of the promotion playoffs. A beautiful weighted through ball to Brandon Tomas. He strides forwards, hits it well. The keeper gets a little hand to it, flaps it a little bit, but will definitely take that 1-0 lead so early in the game. And you know he looks in when it's in. The ball bouncing around, it falls to Vradio, and he slots it away to make it 2-0 on the 35-minute mark. Great little piece of play, and as I say, you know when he looks in when it's in. It was just bouncing around a little bit, no one could get control, falls to Vradio, and the keeper's never saving that, is he? 2-0 the score, and Vradio in the action again. Brandon Tomas with the instinctive volley home did really well. Credit the defender for sticking his head in the danger zone. But in the second half we made it 4. Nice through ball. Munoz looks up. Alex Febas is there, and he sees it home for 4-0. Job done. Lovely jubbly. And that's a big 3 points against promotion rivals Huesca. On to Leganés, away from home then, and we'll get off to an absolutely shocking start. The keeper half comes for the cross, half doesn't, gets stuck in no man's land, and it's nicely headed home in the end to make it 1-0. A shot lead for the home team, to be fair, who's nowhere near us in the league. If things went bad to worse, Victor Gomez with a little trip, penalty given, it's a soft one, and Merino makes no mistake, cool as ice, straight down the middle, and Danny Martin going too early. We just think it's not going to be our day. Jairo doing brilliantly, holding the ball up, waiting for reinforcements, can't finish, and then Febas denied by a great save from the goalkeeper. 2-0 the score in the second half, but then the look changes a little bit. Some spaces open up, Jairo spots the run at the back post, who else but Brandon Tomas, volleys home nicely to make it 2-1. It's game on with 30 minutes left. There's Brandon Tomas as well. Read the danger and made himself a big part of it. It's Desmond. It's 2-2. And it's only 65 minutes gone. It could have been 3-2 a couple of minutes later. Vadio should have scored. He puts it on his wrong foot and blazes it wide. But then, lovely few ball from Luis Munoz. It's a sweaty tap in for Ismael Casas, the youngster, the right back, coming off the bench, but he doesn't care. We've come back from 2-0 down to 3-2 up, and it's going to be an absolutely massive 3 points. Imagine all that hard work against Huesca going down the pan. We've made sure that the win streak carries on, and you can see how important that is now. Just 1 point off Huesca. We're in the promotion places, well, the promotion playoff places. But look at Las Palmas, look at Ponferradina closing up. Ponferradina with a game in hand as well. We've got league leaders Ibar coming up next, and we know why they're top of the league. They start the game in a fantastic pace. pinging the ball around like 1970s Brazil, and we're lucky not to go 1-0 down in the early stages. Good block from the goalkeeper, and then again from Panak. A beautiful ball here from Jairo through to Vario. He spots the run of Brandon Tomas, and we get lucky. The rebound read by Alex Febas. It's completely against the run of play in the early stages, but we'll take it. And you know your luck's in when it's in. The ball through here for Febas, and apparently, watch, that was a penalty according to the referee. We're going to have another look at it. Defender can't believe it. We're not arguing. Tejero is though. A yellow card for him. And if we have a look at the replay, it's the tiniest piece of contact there with Brandon Tomas's back leg. Keeper should save that penalty, and somehow we find ourselves 2-0 up. Not for long though. Here comes Ibar with a gorgeous piece of play. A sumptuous goal, volleyed home beautifully by Fran Sol. And 2-1 the score. Game on for Ibar as far as they're concerned. Vadio unleashes a rocket. It's 3-1. And we don't know what's going on. The fans treated to a bit of a spectacle here, only midway through the first half, and it's 3-1 to us. In the second half, there's a few gaps emerging with some tired legs. A 1-2 from Vadio, gets it back on the left hand side and sees the runner. And how about this for a finish? Boom! A great volley home from Jairo. 4-1. An absolutely magnificent result for us. Have a look at how sweetly he finishes this though. Ball comes in, and sweet as a nut that volley. Keeper can't even move. Beautiful stuff. You love to see it. So there we go with one game left in the table. It's so tight. We're level on points with Huesca. Ponferradina just 1 point behind. But look at the top four. 77, 76, 76, 76. All sorts of storylines going off on the final day of the season. Anything could happen. Happily though, we're against Lugo, bottom placed by an absolute mile, and it's men against boys, and only time would tell how long it would take before we took the lead. In the end it took 17 minutes. You know the score. Crossover, Brandon with the header from Jairo's cross, and it's 1-0, and a few heart rates just lowered slightly. 1 became 2 a few minutes later. Waited through ball, timed beautifully, and Febas can pick a spot for 2-0. And Lugo never looked into it. They were never going to be coming back. It could have been 3-0. A calamity of errors from the back from Lugo. But there it is. 2-0 the score. And into the promotion playoffs we go. A fantastic achievement for Joaquín, who started the job in January in 16th position to get to the promotion playoffs. A show of momentum, a show of resilience from the squad. Credit all round. And I had to do it this year with those 7 loan players in. That wouldn't have happened next year. So there we go. We had to get that win against Lugo with Huesca and Ponferradina just right on our tails as well. But look at the top. 79, 79, 78. So close, and Ibar nicking it in the end. We've got some tough opposition in the playoffs with 2 semis. And if we get further than that, 2-legged final as well. We've got Valladolid in the semi-finals to deal with first though. Brandon Tomas leading the way on the goal scoring front with 20 goals, a goal every other game, and credit to him being converted from the left wing. Febas and Vadio chipping in as well nicely on loan of course. And then when it came to the assists, it's Jairo really on that right hand side. His crosses for Brandon Tomas absolutely influential. It was the one-way traffic system that we utilised. Tomas finishing it off. So it's playoff time. Valladolid, the opposition here, over 2 legs, and Weissman with a beautiful half volley, just saved from Danny Martin. Weissman caught it absolutely brilliantly here, and you must have thought it was a goal had it not been for this claw of a save from Danny Martin. Credit where it's due. We'll come forward through Vida Gomez, and the cross is on. Beautifully weighted for Brandon Tomas's head there. If we look at the replay, the cross is just weighted, so it goes over the head of the centre half here, and Brandon Tomas there with an accurate header into the far side. Valladolid come back though. The ball put on a platter for, well, platter. Makes it 1-1 and game on. Heart rates go up for both sides in this first leg. Jairo coming away on the right hand side, second half then. The dinked ball volleyed home this time from Brandon. A bit of a feature, isn't it? Highway to Brandon, and we've got to utilise it as much as we can. 2-1 the score. And then late on, Scenes. Beautiful first time football here. Laid off for Kufre, the left back, who with the outside of his left peg slots it in. Scenes at La Rosaleda, absolute delight. And the squad knows how massive that goal is. On come the subs. And the 2-goal cushion, such a huge thing to take into the second leg. Look at that sexy swaz on there, kissing the post on its way in. Yes sir, we'll take that to Valladolid, and it'll be massively important. Away we go then to the second leg, at what is arguably the most beautiful of all of the stadiums in La Liga Segunda. 3-1 of course the aggregate lead, as we're bathed in purple. Valladolid with a job to do, and they don't waste their time. They've got a corner first up, and it's disaster for Malaga. A short corner in the end, grinding its way to Vallejo. It's a bit of a training ground move, horrible defending, and we'll go 1-0 down, and suddenly that 2-0 lead is looking a little bit precarious. We get 2 bites of the cherry here, Febas, and it's a horrible deflection going in. But after take it though, 2-0 lead restored, over aggregate of course. But if we look, he hammers it off the forearm of the defender. Arm was down though, so it's tough on Valladolid. Joaquín doesn't mind though, he appreciates it. And then second half, we'll put the game beyond doubt. Bebas looking up, lovely ball on the left hand side. Fabio flicked on, Munoz with a naughty little dink to finish off hopes for Valladolid. Just lifted ahead of the sprawling goalkeeper. It's good night, and into the final 2 games we go. Commiserations for Valladolid, and we're 2 games away from La Liga Santander. Away we go. It's Malaga in a last chance saloon for promotion this season. Here it is then. La Rosaleda's last home game of the season. We're under the lights against Almeria. It's the league top scorers Almeria against the stingiest defence in Malaga. Something had to give. And some great play on the left hand side from Almeria, resulting in a goal. Horrible goalkeeping again from Danny Martin. But can it be re-signing this fellow on loan? Just flapping at it there and getting nowhere near it, so poor. 1-0 became 2. Onside was Tony Lato, and he drills it in on the near side. Second half, and we've had the hairdryer treatment from Joaquín in the dressing room. He must have done something. Here comes Ramon Enriquez, who just keeps going, and he slams it home there. Maybe out of anger, maybe out of frustration, but just tunnel vision, head down. He just strode forwards and slammed it as hard as he possibly could on that left peg. Things are starting to click now. Everything just making sense. Fluid football from Joaquín. It's Joaquín ball, and we could have made it 2-2. So unlucky to hit the post there. And then more sumptuous play as well. We'll capitalise on the loose ball. It's more one-touch football. 1, 2, out on that right-hand side to Jairo. He looks to do something with it, come inside, doesn't get it this time though. But it's starting to work for Joaquín's boys, and the crowd know it too. And we'll leave it so late. Look at the time, 89 minutes. It's a counter-attack. Another one of our lethal counter-attacks. Romero looks up, and it's a fantastic ball to Enriquez, but he's got nothing in the tank. He weighs it up, finds Febas, he's got nothing in the tank. Picks a spot though, left foot drilled home. It's 2-2, and even Steven going into the second leg. Delight for Febas, delight for Malaga, delight for La Rosaleda and the fans there. Everybody knows how massive that goal is, from 2-0 down to 2-2 in the first leg of the promotion playoff final. We'll go to Almeria with something on our backs to use. Here it is then, the final game of the season, and heart rates sky high. Chances missed for both sides. Straight down the middle of the shot there, saved from Danny Martin. And straight from there, good kick from him onto the left hand side. Vadio inside to Enriquez, and looks for Brandon Tomas. seizes him offside. Febas spreads it well. Gomez gets lucky here. And then Jairo with a cross. And Brandon Tomas couldn't put it away. It's tense, it's nervy, and it's really tight. And we're resorting to shooting from range. Laying it off here for Febas. Good save. It was a bit of a rocket, to be fair. And right before half time, we'll get another opportunity as well. Laying it off as well. It's Munoz. Screams past that far post. But nothing doing. We're resorting to shooting from range, which isn't a good sign. It's just a frustration. We can't get that final ball again there. Brandon Tomas couldn't get on the end of it. But it's one-way traffic at this point though. We're the only team that look like scoring. Look at this. Fantastic piece of skill from the big man. Just stopped in the end from a good save by Fernando. And later in the second half, eventually some space on the left-hand side. Barrio comes down the wing. He spots Brandon Tomas. And then slots in. It's Jairo, a key Malaga player, and seemingly onside as well. It looked a little bit sus. We'll have to check it out on the replay, but delight for him. Let's give it a look, and clearly onside. The one centre half for Almeria, perhaps costing them promotion to La Liga. What has he got to be feeling right now? There could have been one last sting in the tail. Here come Almeria again. Beautiful way to ball, but off his line, wishes Danny Martin. Credit to him. Well played, fella. And we've just got to run the clock down now. Calm play from Roberto, the substitute. And there it is. The full-time whistle goes. And Malaga return to La Liga Santander, where they would say they belong. It's been an incredible achievement. Euphoria for the fans and of course the players, the coaches as well. Everybody involved at La Rosaleda. Absolutely delighted here. Admittedly away from home, which is a little bit sad. Would have loved it to do it under the lights at home. But we'll absolutely take it. A monumental effort coming in January in 16th position. A fantastic run of form late in the season. And then defeat to Valladolid in the semis. Defeat to Almeria, and it's all worth it for Joaquín's boys. It's the impossible dream imagined. And there is the trophy, our key to promotion, and we're going to grasp it with both hands. Captain Fantastic, Mr. Consistently Sensible himself. It's Luis Munoz who lifts the trophy for Malaga, and delight for Malaga Club de Football returning to the top flight once again. Streamers going off, fireworks in the sky, and that is mission accomplished this year. Joaquín's still in a job, and we've got to see where you'll press on from here. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. It's been a tough ride. It's been a bit of a brutal slog, but so worth it in the end. I hope you've enjoyed us on the way, this journey for Malaga. Don't forget to drop a like if you have, and we'll see you around next time. I've been your average FIFA guy, and until then, see you later.